Hey everybody, welcome back to J&L Green Farm. This is an episode that we've worked on for a little while and have actually gone back and forth on whether we even wanted to release it because it covers a topic that is particularly sensitive in our culture, especially in today's environment, and that is the topic of harvesting animals, of butchering them or killing them. We see a lot of shock videos in the media and on social media from how things could be done on farms that are not doing things right, or slaughter facilities. And our thoughts on this are there's a lot of misinformation that could be out there, a lack of education, but also a lack of transparency from farms themselves. In many states, it's actually illegal to take pictures of farming operations and put it on social media. These are called ag-gag laws. You may have heard about them. With our farm, we feel it is incredibly important to be 100% transparent with what we are doing, and that includes the process of butchering these animals. And so that's what this episode is about. We're going to show you how we catch our chickens after they've spent 3 weeks in the brooder, 5 weeks in the field. And we've given them the best care we can. The day does come when they are caught and they are, slaughtered and put into the freezer to be ready for retail sale. So we're going to show you that process because we believe in transparency in what we are doing as farmers, and we also believe in accountability. That our greatest accountability partners are our customers, knowing what we're doing and supporting us and being behind our efforts. Lack of knowledge and education is something that we see a lot today, that people just don't understand, what it takes for that steak to get on their plate, or that pork chop, or even, as Joel Salatin will say, that dinosaur-shaped nuggets is not a muscle group. Just what are the basic cuts of an animal? Right.
Well, yeah, and the question comes up a lot is, how do you process the animal? Is it humane? Is it something that is respectful of the animal and the life that it's lived? And so with this episode, we're letting you see a day that you would generally not want to necessarily walk up and see on the farm, but on the other hand, without the knowledge of what does humane slaughter look like, you're not going to be able to walk up to a processor who is doing chickens, one of the bigger places, and see how they're doing it. So it still is a little hard to see the contrast, but I think it's important to see what's happening, what is going on, what does a good day look like for butchering.
Yeah. A key part to food with integrity is food with transparency, and that's what we're attempting to show in this episode. Do be aware, though, there is killing in this episode. You will see blood, you will see animals dying, so have some discretion. It may be something that might upset children. Parents probably watch it first before letting their kids see it, but it's something that we do encourage people to see, to come out to our farm and observe and see what it takes to put that pound of meat on your dinner plate at supper time. So we hope you guys enjoy the episode.
Days when we harvest chickens we call a butcher day, and they usually start very early in the morning, grabbing some breakfast on the go, getting the tractor, hooking up our crate trailer, and heading out to field to load the birds before it gets hot. Splitting up for some multitasking, Laura begins to unload the crates for the harvest birds, while I go over and move a younger set of birds to their fresh spot of grass. So this is a Cornish cross chicken, and this one in particular is a rooster. And from those little baby peeps that you see us put in the brooder, this is 59 days later. So a little over 8 weeks later, this bird is probably 10 pounds alive and probably will be about 6 pounds once he's in the chill tank. So pretty amazing how fast they can grow.
So catching the birds at the beginning of the day is not quite as easy as what you might think. We've got to bring the chickens to the front of the pens. We put a little board there to keep them from having to go underneath the pen and go catch them. So we're picking up these 8 to 10 pound birds, putting them in crates. Then Jordan stacks them and gets them ready to go into the trailer.
So while we were out catching the birds and getting them loaded up, we had our butchering help people here getting the processing pad area ready to go. We got Laura her very own custom 6-inch Victorinox knife.
Custom.
Yeah, highly custom.
my name on it.
It's Amazon custom. All right, everybody ready to go? Stay hydrated. It's hot today. So about 330, 340 birds to go. Knock it out. Going through the process of how we actually butcher the chickens, one station at a time, we have step 1, stop at our kill station. This is where the birds are placed in our kill cones and they are bled out. Working with a helper here, we rotate the cones from the back to the front to have a smooth process moving the birds through this beginning stage of the line. Step 2 in this process is moving the birds onto a scalder, which is a hot water bath for 60 seconds. This loosens the feathers as they move into step 3, which is a plucker that removes all of the feathers from the chickens. Step 4 of the process, the birds move from our dirty side of processing to the clean tables. This is where their feet, heads, and tails are removed. Step 5 is the actual process of evisceration or gutting. This is where the guts are removed from the inside of the chicken. The liver and heart are kept separate.
I've never been to Maine, but I would like to go. It's Jordan's favorite state when he had lived there for 6 months. 9 months, whatever it was. You're fine.
Step 6 is the quality control process, where the birds are checked for any small feathers that might remain, and they are given a final inspection before moving on to the next phase. Our pre-chill tank takes the initial heat out of the birds, where they are chilled for 5 to 10 minutes. After that, they are moved over to the final chill tank, where they will be cooled down with ice for several hours. Once the process is going and people are in place, this can turn into a smooth operation for us to move several hundred birds through our butchering stations. A
common question we get is, what do we do with all the feathers and guts? These are composted on our farm by bedding them in a deep pack of wood chips. These are left here for a year to decompose and break down, and then this compost is spread on our pastures to feed the plants.
While Jordan is off composting the offals, I oversee the cleanup of our processing equipment. Sanitation of our processing equipment ensures that dangerous pathogens and bacteria do not contaminate the birds. Every square inch of the tables and all of the tools must be washed with soap and disinfectant. One of Jordan's sayings is, "Cleanliness is next to godliness."
About 50% of our chicken that we sell goes out as parts and pieces like this. No one was harmed in the making of that noise. So we spend a good bit of our time on butcher days cutting them up and breaking them down like you're seeing here. What we have here is our new and shiny toy backpack machine that can take all the air out of our packages when we do some chicken. So we're trying to figure out where to put it and how to use it. Our very first vacuum sealed package of chicken. Packaging and boxing, packing and boxing. The process repeats itself over and over as we and the folks working with us close out our processing day. It's been a long day and everyone is working hard to finish. This is a frequent event on our farm, as all of our chickens for the next 12 months are raised in a 6-month period of warm weather. Day in and day out, the process is the same. Caring for the animals on the pasture and in the woods, moving them to new areas to graze, and completing the circle of life with the harvest. This is the life at J&L Green Farm.